The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
Hey everyone, it's me, Alison, the Alikat, and I'm back here working on some stuff. Been a bit since I streamed. Sorry. Life. Lots of crazy life things, basically, so that's what's going on. But hey, I'm getting back to it, and hopefully have some fun today. I said I got the beginnings of my piece up and running, so we will see where we go from. And today we're working on Zatanna, a commission for a friend. So it was nice enough to help bail me out of a few things too and purchase a commission from me. So super helpful and a super nice guy. All right. So I have a bunch of Google image searches in a different window of Zatanna, so I can kind of get a look going that I want to do. And we're kind of going from there. Bear with me and we'll get started. All right, so I already roughed in the hat and gotta solve that up a bit. And I was thinking about having her wearing the white gloves. Sometimes she's wearing them, sometimes she's not. But I kind of like the glove idea because it kind of works with her tuxedo kind of look. So I've started kind of getting an idea of where I want to put those. I'll go in and do some stuff with this to define it better later. But yeah. So hopefully everybody's been doing well. Everybody had a good Christmas and Happy New Year and all that other fun stuff since I haven't really been streaming. So haven't really been in touch. Been hanging out on the on Sunday Funny Show. But yeah, on that, haven't really been doing my own thing. Thinking I might have to start doing some pre-recorded stuff too. And I think that might help me a bit. All right, what do I got over here? Kind of a cool picture of her wearing like a corset as well as like the kind of the tuxedo top that a lot of magicians wear. The bow tie. And of course she's got fishnets. Granted, there's some versions of her where she doesn't have that. Probably older versions. I'm not super familiar with everything about Zatanna, but you know, who doesn't love Zatanna? She's just cool. Kind of like a hot pant look. So yeah, there's a few different ways we can go about doing this costume. kind of like that one, actually. For those who don't know, I actually practiced magic for quite a while. I was the sergeant of arms for the Society of American Magicians up in the Boston chapter. And I could do a lot of cool card tricks and stuff for a while and other things. Can't really do them anymore, though, unfortunately. Zatanna the Ripper. Okay. If anybody hears weird construction sounds, they're like building something behind my apartment. I don't know what it is, but it's something and it's big. A big building of something. So occasionally you'll hear some things. Okay, I think we're going to do that. Kind of like that one. I'm also thinking about possibly adding some cards like into her hands, kind of like this, to do some stuff with. But I mean, she's not Gambit, but hey. She'll probably draw Gambit at some point. I always like Gambit. Just have her with 2 cards. Make it like the dead man's hand. Have it with aces and eights. I'm also gonna do this giving her a little bit of a costume design of my own. Have a little bit of fun with it. I mean, I'm probably never gonna draw Zatanna for an actual comic, so might as well have some fun with it. I don't know what it is about this time of year, but this more than ever, my nose leaks like a sieve. I'll probably play with this design element for a bit, but hey, let's kind of rough something in, see where we're going. So this is my roughy stage, as it were, where I'm just trying to get a rough design of kind of the character out, and I will do more of the finish line work as I progress. And get a bit of a feel for it, but that'll be all in a different layer where I turn this layer down and then kind of work on it from there. And what I'll do is I will print it out at a much lower opacity and most likely in red. And then I'll do all of my inking work, and then I'll tone texture it with my Copics. I'll go from there. And Zatanna has a really good set of hair, so I swear I can make sense of all this eventually. Space the eyes out a little bit more, but yeah, just getting them roughed in. Okay, let's turn that down. Add layer in. Call it lines. Let's get to work. Actually, I also got a D&D character I got to draw for somebody, which that's coming up soon. Hopefully after I finish this one, I'll do that. Hopefully next week. It's not next week, it'll probably be the week after, because I might still be finishing this up. I might actually finish up doing this traditionally on my art table over here, as I got it mostly cleared up. So let's get move some magic cards. Does she have earrings? Yes, she does. Figured she would. Used to love wearing earrings. Too much of a pain in the ass to put it out now, though. Oh, I might go back to wearing some makeup, though. I can artistically express myself with makeup, too. Okay. Bear with me here. I want to go on a picture where I can see her earrings a bit. I kind of like the little jewel ones. Those look kind of cool. Yeah, we'll do that. Again, this would be the equivalent of my pencils, so as long as I have a good basis when I go to ink it, it will, I don't have to worry too much about the exact finery of every line swipe. But hey, it'll work out. I might stick something in the background like a rabbit or something like that because, she's a magician. Every magician has to have a rabbit coming out of a hat. Just a little bit of a sinister look. I kind of like it. It's like she knows something that other people don't. Don't want that much line weight there. That's better. Hey Vic. Yeah, I'm glad I'm back too. So I really needed to get some art done, and I figured drawing a character like this will be fun. Still might change a shitload, but hey, we'll see what happens. Still got to do a hangout together, you and I, Vic. Because that last one we did I thought was really fun. Let's see. Let's back that out a little. Oops. Hate when I do that. Let's move that over a little bit. Got my book of the week behind me, which we're going to be very careful what we show on the book of the week this week because, well, the algorithms might not like everything that's in that book. And if anyone hasn't seen Vic's amazing color work, it was line art as well, but just his colors are amazing. Gotta check him out just when he's working in general on the Thursday Night Throwdown. I believe they're doing a lot of like 90s stuff right now, which I was going to get involved in that. I'd have to do the Witchblade. Witchblade I loved, and I'm a huge Mike Turner fangirl. Now, whenever I did stage magic and type thing, I never dressed in a tux or anything like that, or did that type of a look. Forget the magician that was known for that started it. I almost want to say it was Houdin, not Houdini, but where Houdini took his name from, which was, I believe his name was Robert Houdin, and Houdini is like son of Houdin, even though there's no relation. For one thing, Houdini's actual name was like Eric Weiss or something, so... actually, it might have been Harold Houdin. Anyway, but I think that's where the look came from. I'm not positive, though. I'd have to double check. It's been years since I really read a lot of my stuff on the history of stage magic and other such things. But yeah, I never did that. The character that I played when I was doing magic was always more of, I was inspired by John Constantine more, where I was the working woman magician. And a lot of my stuff dealt with a lot of like, I would work a lot of like eldritch horror stuff into my act. Didn't perform very much. It's more like mild things that we did with the group and stuff. But like when we did dinners and all that, I do like table magic and things. I did a couple of shows for a church. Paid me to do some. A few other things like that. And I toned down my act a little bit when I was doing things with the church because, well, eldritch horror and the church, I mean, it wasn't like the Catholics, but still. I had to be a little careful with that, just to say the least. So I hear the hammering in the background. I keep thinking it's when my cat's getting sick because the noise, which kind of reminds me of it. I'm just like, wait, it's not hops. Okay, not rocket. see. If anyone's curious, the trick that I liked to perform the most was what's called the ambitious card, which it's a trick where you can make a card seemingly go from the middle of the deck, or sometimes the bottom of the deck, it doesn't really matter where, but somewhere it's not on the top of the deck, and then have it rise to the top of the deck. And then you go through a series of things about the card, about how it, you can move it between different areas and like have it appear like the second card down, the third card down, the middle of the deck, and then the final part of it is that it's not even in the deck at all, but it's like in a sealed note that's notarized and signed, and that's like in my jacket pocket. Then you reveal it at the end, and of course the card is signed by somebody there. So when you're doing the trick, you can always tell it's that card. You get like random person from the audience. It's not doing some of the other things about a random person that's not really a random person, but you actually use a random person from the audience. I'm not going to divulge all the tricks and how they're done, but that was a fun one to do. Always leaves people mesmerized. Again, that's like a close-up trick, though. It's not really something you do on stage. I mean, you could nowadays if you have the right cameras and stuff like that. That kind of watching you as you do it. But it was always a fun one to do. It's a good like 5-minute trick, so like I could do that at a table, and I could move on to like another table and do it again, or I could do something else. Like I do a couple little quick tricks and then do the ambitious card. I'd vary up the act a little bit depending on when I'm doing it, but yeah. So what does it mean to be a magician? Many hours of staring at yourself in the mirror and not pruning yourself. So, I had another trick that was kind of cool where I would have like a Wicker Man style doll, and I could make it lie flat on my hand, then it would rise during the course of it. It would just stand up. That was kind of cool. That was a fun one. That was one of my spookier ones. I did the trick that's often known as zombie, which is a basically you're moving a ball around behind a cloth, and it's like acting on its own and everything. They call it zombie, the name of the trick. I could do a haunted card trick where I could have a card deck cut itself. That was kind of neat. Sometimes I would lead up to that with the ambitious card. I'd do the haunted card trick where it would cut itself. The deck would cut itself. One of these days I'm going to make a character that uses stage magic for a lot of their stuff. It's a Clive Barker story. They made it into Lord of Illusions, and one of the characters in it who did actual magic, but he hid everything as like stage magic. Can't remember the character's name. I want to say it was on the Repairman Jack series, but I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. It's from the Books of Blood. And I believe when they released it over here, they called it Cabal, which was one of the other stories in it, which they made Nightbreed of. Which, if you haven't seen Nightbreed, fantastic movie. Lord of Illusion is quite good too. I haven't watched it in forever. Let's sit down and watch that again. It was a fun movie. It's got Bakula in it. Yeah, did it again. Sometimes my finger hits the grab color button instead of the instead of just drawing, so I get the background. It turns my pointer, turns my brush white, which is perfect when I want it to do that, but that's not typical. This is not typical at all. Probably should give it the obligatory save, just because if I don't, it's going to crash. And I'm going to lose it. And then I'm going to be pissed. I don't think I like that like that. Do this. Okay. I want it to be more like that. I'm kind of liking it so far. Having fun. That's all that matters. 50. Now, here's the big question. Do I put the bow tie on, or do I do something where it's more revealing? I think I want to be something a bit more sassy. Where I go a bit more revealing. Some TNA. Mostly the T parts. Can't see your A. Who knows? This might become a bow tie later if I feel like it. I think one of the other reasons I never went for that kind of an outfit or whatnot kind of reminded me of wearing my school uniform. It's a tux, it's different, but the bottom part of a women's version of these things is actually a lot like Zatanna's. You generally are wearing like something like a bathing suit, and I'm really comfortable doing that. I give this a little more thought. Let's back it out so I can kind of get some line art in. I'm thinking a bit more about that. Let's do the hat of it. I'll probably mess with the hat a little bit to make sure I get the perspective right, but, you know, it's a good start for it. The good thing about working digitally is I can undo, or I can erase just about anything. Not leave a mark. Sounds like I got mail. Check that in a bit. Give this a save. Okay. Now, not going to be streaming much longer today because I have a few other things I got to do. But what I am going to do is do my book of the week because I promised it. And, you know, it's going to be fun. And I got to be really careful what I show. So I'll stop that and go. It's just me here. We got Faust. This is the complete collection of Faust by David Quinn and Tim Vigil. Oh, Love of the Damned. It is a beautiful hardcover book. Selling for about $80. I missed the Kickstarter, but I was able to get this. So I'm very happy with it. It's got like a complete run of different covers from their North Star era to like their all the way up through their whatchamacallit, their Rebel years, as they called them, when they had Rebel Studios. But this is a safe page to show because there's no porn. All right, so there's a couple of samples of the art where it's just freaking gorgeous. Tim Vigil's line work is just beautiful. Oh, I absolutely love his stuff. But yeah, it is a hyper-violent slasher horror comic with a lot of, well, sex and violence. Okay, this is the end of the first issue. So we got the two pages going here. And Faust has killed somebody, hence why we have a severed head on the ground. Kind of go from there. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Another quick check on this. Sure, this has some of the splatter imagery, which, if you notice, this is kind of where I get a lot of my design when I draw splatter, is a lot from Tim Vigil. He was a huge influence on me when I'm drawing like blood and stuff like that, because he seems to be under a similar impression that I am, that blood is stored in the body at 2000 psi. And since I studied science, I can say that's true. Yes, yeah. No, it's not. But it sounds really fun. There's another couple of cool shots. Again, really no major bits of sex and violence on there, so just absolutely love it. And they're using like Zipatone and stuff like that. Pretty sure this is Zipatone. I don't think they were using Duo Shade, or Duotone. They could have been. I'm honestly not sure though, but I think it's mostly Zipatone. I take that back. It could be either. Honestly, not sure. We'll just leave it at that. Don't know. There's one page in particular that I absolutely love. It's from the 8th issue. That is. Definitely can't show that page. or that one, or that one, or any of those. I think I'm going to buy it. All right. Definitely, yeah, I'm in issue 9. Okay, issue 9 has lots of graphic sex and other things. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Kind of getting towards the end of it, but we have what I love is so on this page, the top panel, where you have opening fire and just hitting the car door. I absolutely love that scene, the way it's depicted and everything, and the way that the action is in those scenes is super fun. But yeah, so that's Faust. I'm not going to risk showing anything else from this book on stream because, well, I don't want Nita to kick me out of the team. But anyway, or us to get demonetized or anything else like that. So yeah, quick stream today. I'm gonna try to get back to doing more like an hour or so, a couple hours actually. Going forward, I just have to see how things are going and what's up with me and stuff like that. But yeah, it felt good to get out here and do some art, and I'm glad I could share a bit of the Zatanna commission, and hopefully we'll see a bit more in the near future of it. Pretty much going to be working on it, trying exclusively mostly on the stream, so I'll probably do a little bit in between, but for the most part I'll all be on this. But that being said, I'm going to check out for the night, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.